Hey, how's it going, everybody? Valkorian here today. We're going to be going over my basic Eidolon setup, uh, specifically aimed at doing the terralyst as quickly and efficiently as you can solo as possible. With this setup, I imagine that you could at least do three runs in a night, depending on if you have energy pads, just those kinds of different things. You can definitely solo him in one night. Using this setup, I did it and it took me about 12 minutes. You could always bring that time down. And this was actually a capture, it wasn't a kill, so you get the rewards from the capture with the little articula thing that you get, which I think is pretty neat. So just the basic Rhino setup, 323 power strength. I use this in most of my stuff when I'm soloing any of the Eidolons. Then we have Corinth. Obviously, if you have Corinth Prime, go ahead and use that. I just haven't managed to get around to getting Corinth Prime. Your basic Corinth setup for the Eidolon, obviously you want radiation. Stack as much radiation into them as you can. And crit chance with crit multiplier and crit damage. So Prime Ravage, Prime Point Blank, Accelerated Blast for that puncture and the fire rate, because the Corinth does fire a little bit slow. Hellish Chamber, Blunderbuss, Vigilante Armaments, Incendiary Coat, and Charged Shell. If you don't have Prime Ravage and Prime Point Blank, I'm sure you could get away with using regular Ravage and regular Point Blank. The only change that I could possibly think that you might want to make is adding a Riven. I do have a Riven. I don't feel like it's very good, but you could run it. Obviously, shotgun Rivens are a little bit expensive right now. You could do that. If you wanted to, you could also add Tactical Pump, which adds reload speed, or anything that would add reload speed. Critical Deceleration, since you're already having, where is it? Accelerated Blast. It would bring it up. It would bring it down 20%, but your overall fire rate would be buffed by 40%. So critical deceleration might be something that you could look at adding, maybe instead of vigilante armaments in that spot if you don't have vigilante armaments yet. And that, for the most part, is about it for the Corinth. Obviously, if you have Corinth Prime, go ahead and use it. Aximati, just to kind of deal some damage to him in case you run out of ammo or anything like that. Guandel Prime or any melee weapon is fine. To take care of any Grenier that he might stumble upon. You can just kill him really quickly. That way they don't have to deal with them for the rest of the fight. Obviously, your operator, I would say almost any amp is better than the moat amp. Go ahead and do a little bit of research. I know there's tons and tons of videos about about amps in total. I don't really get too in depth. With the amps, I never really have. As long as you're not using the stupid moat amp, then you should be pretty good in order to take them down. Your focus, I always run Xeneric whenever I'm soloing him, simply because of the energy that you get back from energizing dash. You could run, I believe it's Madurai that has, yeah, you could run Void Strike on Madurai, which you stack the damage and then it's easier to take him down. I just don't see that as super necessary, so I run Xeneric with all of my Waybound, with all of these Waybound passives unlocked. Obviously they're not necessary, but they make it a little bit easier for your operator to stay alive, especially Rejuvenating Tides and Enduring Tides, which increases your operator health by 150% and then increases operator health regen by 4 seconds. So that is really everything that I use, as well as an Adarza Kavat. Obviously, you could run an Adarza. Mine's not very well set up. She does go down quite a bit, but the Cat's Eye buff does give you 60% increased crit chance for 20 seconds. So that is nice. That crit chance does help. It's not super necessary, but it does help. Obviously, there are different setups for different people. I think that this is one of the better setups if you're running solo, especially since you have Rhino's Iron Skin, you're less likely to take damage, you're less likely to die, which is something that you really don't want to do in this fight. Not only is it that much closer to failing, but it wastes time, and if you're trying to do multiple runs in one night by yourself, this is definitely a great setup. Alternatively to the Corinth, if you feel comfortable with it, you could use the Lanka. You could use the, where is it, Vectus Prime, or you could use something like the Rubico Prime, which are the main weapons to hunt Eidolons. You can start getting comfortable with them by yourself solo. I did use the Corinth for the gameplay footage. It's just something that I've used the Corinth for a long time, and I know it'll handle the Eidolons. But that's pretty much all I have for today. I hope you guys enjoyed the last video, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.